There's plenty of history with those ocean pools up and down the coast. I went swimming in the bogey hole the other day. That was a convict-built ocean pool that's just north of here. That's the oldest ocean pool in Australia.
Relatively free lifestyle, so I know he's enjoying that as well, and I'm sure it's helping him relax pre-event.
Now here goes Bourez now, 35 years of age, and 3 championship tour wins to his name. He's also won the 2 biggest qualifying series events on the schedule.
It goes without saying he'll be in full attack mode. I'm expecting fireworks on his first wave.
Here's Bourez. Is that torque that we were talking about? Also just kicks on the fins, just 2 turns, but it'll be obviously much better than his first ride, which was just a 0.63, and now will fall into the order of priority a little more, and the rhythm is this heat will start to take shape.
Going through the lineup now as we see Michel. Just watch how much water comes off Michel's board. Even just that cutback that was more just to set himself up for that second turn. Just so much water comes off his board here. So watch this. Just puts the hammer down on that back foot, kinks that little back leg in. Really expressive. And as we see Griff up and riding now.
Generating a lot of speed for this section. Quick hit there, driving down the line, and a clean lip line float. You can tell that he really planted his board onto that section of the wave, getting a bit of spray up there as well. So just the 2 turns.
Smooth, and how easy they make everything look. Just firing down the line on that first turn, and Griff just, we've seen it time and time again as they come to this last section. Griff just slams it really hard off that first turn, but doesn't overturn so that he can get to this last closeout section. But we've seen this happen again and again today. They get up on that lip there and they almost jump off the lip out in front of it, because the danger zone is where that heavy lip comes down and explodes onto the trough danger zone for any surfer. So they project out in front of it.
Bourez at 4.33, really close in the opening stages here against these 2. Michel surfing in his 12th year on the CT, just the 3rd year for Griffin Colapinto. Michel looking left here. This one's not going to pan out. Priority will go to the Californian, and not quite as charged up as I thought he'd be, but he
did have
still got a long way to go in this contest. As we see, Griffin there just ran out of water to bring that rotation around. 16 minutes to go here. Italo will be surfing against the winner of this heat.
Michel really stamped his authority there, but I think this is a good move for him. A little bit of cleaner water over near the rocks there. It's still quite turbulent out in this front bank, or middles, as Luke was pointing out. But yeah, if Michel can find a smoother face, then we're really going to see him open up.
I think that as we see him having a little look here.
Yeah, let's see what he can do with this one. So trying to better a 1.57 to put a bit more distance between himself and Bourez here. This wave's going to shut down on the inside. It's been hanging down at the middle section of the wave, sort of more on the beach break. And he's just looking for something big to launch off. Here goes the Tahitian. Little cutback, back to the source. There's one of those high torque, high energy maneuvers from Michel. And again, digging in on the rail. With a big finish, he might be able to turn in the required score that he needs here. Only looking for a 3.33, and he plants it and takes that thing halfway up the beach. It's always a positive sign if you're doing that on a smaller wave, because when the waves get bigger, these turns obviously get bigger too.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you can see here, his technique is phenomenal, and there's like the water flying off his rails is perfect. He's not catching at all, and then it's good to see the desire out of Michel. He's been doing it for a while. And a huge finish here. Wow, you got to be careful. He kept his fins in his board. That was nuts.
Yeah, it's so unique to Michel Bourez, this approach. Just generates so much whip out of those turns. But I love the finish here. Seeing the replay of that finish, and you'll see just how far up the beach Michel rides. Really letting the judges know he's got complete control here.
As he was gunning for speed then, just setting up that last turn.
Bourez now out in front, and Griffin is the man chasing, and he's after a 5.01, and he's made the move back down to these rights now to really keep a closer eye on Michel and back himself to match it with Bourez on the rail. You could see some real positivity in the way he was riding his earlier waves, but he's been pushed back in the second now, and he's looking for a score out of this one. Great energy at the moment. Love the way he's able to open that stance up, maintain control, and just drift those fins.
Definitely debatable.
Oh, it sounds like a no at the World Tour.
Yeah.
Jake Patterson, coach Griffin Colapinto through his QS campaign and onto the championship tour, nicknamed him the Sponge because he had such a great ability to absorb information. 5 minutes to go. Let's see what eventuates here. Griffin's looked really sharp on his feet. Just looking to bank a big score, and there is a clean rotation. It feels good.
He could have just jammed the finish there and kept it a lot safer, but he still went for the rotation. It wasn't by any means a crazy reverse, but I know it was the harder of the two options for him, and I know deep down he'll be stoked that he didn't just do a little pokey layback finish. He actually tried to blow the tail, and from that angle it actually looked a lot better. So let's hope the judges are watching that replay for Griffin's point of view.
Somehow found a wave in between it all and is waiting on a score. Much every day there was a big swell running. He rode some of the best waves that we've seen at Backdoor and off the wall, and both those guys came away from the first event with 17ths. So Michel Bourez desperate to turn things around, as is Colapinto. Griffin with an opportunity here. 2 minutes remaining, this wave fading away. He's going to get back to the takeoff. He wants to keep that priority and give himself a great shot in the final stages here.
So nothing really extraordinary on that wave. He could get a 5 in his sleep, this kid, and here he goes. He's going to have a paddle at this one.
Having a look at this one. Loads up off the bottom into the first section. Smooth, hangs on to it. Needs something big here. Well, big fin drift over the closeout. 501 is the number he needs. It was a decent sized wave.
Let's see, size of wave might get him through here.
Not a bad first turn to start off with, really. Kept the speed, and that one there, we know that the judges have been loving that big final turn, and I'm sort of comparing this to his opening wave, the 5.30.
He was dealing with so much then. The first section was pretty ugly. There was a lot of bumps, and this shore break, it's not easy to negotiate. Just great control, so planted, his foot wedged right up against the back of his tail pad, that tail block. And
I think he's going to be pretty...
One of those heats with scores that weren't too exciting, but actually played out in a really interesting fashion and went right down to the wire. Griffin is absolutely buzzing. He's moving on through.